The Minnesota Vikings are still active on the market and are in advanced negotiations with two big NFL stars. You will be surprised by today's news. But first, don't forget to like this video, because your like helps us reach more Minnesota Vikings fans. So subscribe now so you don't miss any more news. Now enough of the chatter, and let's get to today's news. Transformers, Vikings, and an unexpected twist. Hollywood star prefers Aaron Rodgers to Kirk Cousins as possible savior of the season. What if history repeated itself? Exactly as before. This was the provocation launched by Josh Duhamel, star of the Transformers franchise and notorious Minnesota Vikings fan, when faced with a hypothetical scenario. What if J.J. McCarthy is not ready to take the reins of the franchise in 2025? Duhamel's answer left no room for doubt. If the young quarterback fails, he wants Aaron Rodgers, and not Kirk Cousins. The statement came during his appearance on the Games with Names podcast, hosted by former NFL wide receiver Julian Edelman, and quickly resonated with Vikings and league fans, not just because of who said it, but because of everything behind that suggestion, an almost forbidden dilemma in Minnesota. The Minnesota Vikings entered the offseason with a very clear plan. J.J. McCarthy is the future. The franchise made a heavy investment in the rookie, opting not to sign any important names to compete with him for the starting spot. Even after Kirk Cousins' departure, the Vikings preferred to bet on McCarthy, only bringing in the experienced Sam Darnold as a temporary bridge. And even that is no longer in the plans. In the 2025 draft, the team did not select any other quarterback. Instead, he bolstered the offensive line and receiving core, all with the goal of giving McCarthy the right tools to develop and thrive as the franchise's leader. But what if he's not ready? This was Edelman's provocation on the podcast. If McCarthy starts the season poorly and the Vikings are in the middle of a Super Bowl window, wouldn't they make a bold move? That's when Aaron Rodgers' name came up in conversation, and things got a little more interesting. "Rodgers, all day," Duhamel said. Josh Duhamel didn't hesitate. When Edelman asked if he would prefer to see Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins take over the controls if McCarthy stumbles, the answer was quick. Rodgers, all day. The most curious thing? Rodgers is following the same path Brett Favre did years ago, from the Packers to the Jets, and then to the Minnesota Vikings. Duhamel floated this idea as if planting a seed in the fertile soil of NFL fans' imaginations. Would it be very strange for him, Rodgers, to do exactly what Favre did? It's hard not to imagine the narrative. A legendary veteran, with scores, to settle and still talent in his arm, arriving to save a franchise full of talent, but with a rookie still in development. The script seems worthy of Hollywood, something that Duhamel, by the way, knows well. The current reality, complete. Trust in McCarthy. Despite the talk and speculation, the Vikings have given no indication that they intend to sign another quarterback. The plan, it seems, is to give McCarthy time and space to develop. Even after missing the final stretch of last season with a knee injury that required surgery, McCarthy returned to training, showed good chemistry with his receivers, and has already had some good moments in training with newly arrived center Ryan Kelly. The objective is clear: to build a solid connection and prepare the team for the future, without rushing, but with ambition. But what if the script changes? In the world of the NFL, everything can change in a matter of weeks. Injuries, defeats, pressure from the fans, title windows opening and closing. If the Vikings get off to a bad start but the rest of the team is performing at a high level, would it really be surprising to see the front office consider a bold move? And if this move involves Aaron Rodgers, one of the biggest names in the league's recent history, and available as a free agent, the scenario becomes even more intriguing. Rodgers, even after the serious Achilles tendon injury, guarantees he is fit and ready to return. And if he's healthy and willing, he could be the kind of player who can turn a good team into a real title contender. For now, J.J. McCarthy is the man. But the NFL clock never stops. Meanwhile, everyone's eyes, including those in Hollywood, Week A, will be on Minneapolis. McCarthy carries the fans' hope. But in the background, there's a shadow lurking, in the form of a four-time MVP veteran, ready for another last dance. And if this dance is purple and gold, Josh Duhamel is definitely in the front row. NFL market bombshell. Minnesota Vikings negotiate the arrival of Drake Jackson. A new defensive era may be about to begin in Minneapolis. The Minnesota Vikings are very close to one of the boldest moves of the offseason. According to information from Adam Schefter, ESPN insider, and one of the most trusted voices in the NFL, the Purple and Gold franchise is in advanced negotiations to acquire edge rusher Drake Jackson, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. And if confirmed, this move could completely change the dynamics of the Vikings' defense in 2025. According to the report obtained by Schefter and confirmed by sources connected to the NFL Network and Pro Football Focus, PFF, conversations between Minnesota and Jackson's representatives would have begun earlier this week. This Friday, May 17th, the parties are already discussing contract terms, tactical use within Brian Flores' defensive system, and even performance benefits that could make the contract worth millions. Before continuing, have you subscribed to our channel? If you are a true Vikings fan, this is the right place for you. Tactical analysis, behind-the-scenes news, signings, and everything about the Minnesota Vikings. Click subscribe now and activate the bell. Don't miss anything from what promises to be a historic season. Who is Drake Jackson? Drake Jackson, 24, was selected in the second round of the 2022 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers from USC. At 6'3" and around 250 pounds, he is known for his explosiveness in the first step and his reach in pressure plays. In his rookie season, Jackson racked up 14 tackles, 3 sacks, and 8 quarterback pressures, despite playing a limited role in the 49ers' heavily rotated defense. In 2023, he was growing in participation until he suffered an injury to the patellar tendon, which kept him out at the end of the season. In January 2024, he underwent successful surgery and has been training in full fitness since March of this year. With the 49ers' defensive roster stacked with names like Nick Bosa, Chase Young, and Eric Armstead before his departure, Jackson ended up falling victim to the depth at the position. His rookie contract was for 4 years, but he was released by the 49ers in early May 2025, immediately becoming a target for several teams. According to sources close to The Athletic and reporter Diana Russini, the Vikings are offering a 2-year contract with a total value between $4.5 and $7 million, depending on performance goals. The contract includes base salary of $2 million per year, bonus for sacks, over 6 in the season, incentives for snaps played, minimum 70%, friendly exit clause after the first year. Plus, there's a key component: the player's desire to work with Brian Flores, who has gained a reputation as one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. The Vikings Sports Project, which mixes youth with experience and has a passionate fan base, seduced Jackson, according to reports from Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. What would Jackson bring to the Vikings' defense? In 2024, the Vikings' defense showed improvement under Flores, but still lacked consistency in the pass rush. The rotation with Danielle Hunter, now a free agent, DJ Wonnum, and Pat Jones II had promising moments, but without enough depth. Drake Jackson, if healthy, could act as a DE, defensive end, in 4-3 formations, aligning as an OLB, outside linebacker, in hybrid schemes, be a threat on long third downs with explosiveness and lateral agility. His youth and hunger to prove himself perfectly matches the feisty spirit that Vikings fans love so much. And let's be honest, There's nothing quite like seeing a sack at US Bank Stadium shake the purple stands. Social media exploded with the news. On the Vikings official Reddit, users are already discussing how Jackson's arrival could change the front seven. Brian Flores is going to turn Jackson into a monster. All he needs are snaps, commented Escol Defense. Best move of the off-season so far, and for a low cost. That's a steal, said Mini-Fan 1975. Journalists from Pro Football Focus and Bleacher Report also rated the potential signing as one of the best value moves of the offseason, if Jackson is 100% fit.